Good morning, my friends. It's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I am going through my good midlife crisis, where I am journeying through my 40s and I am working so hard to get my poop in a group. In order to do this, I have been working on my physical, my financial, and my mental health. And today is Friday, November the 8th of 2024, and I am going to be doing a financial health check-in. I'm going to be budgeting out the money that you see above my head, $2,304.32. And I am going to be doing that using the app that you see surrounding me. This is an app called You Need a Budget, or YNAB for short. Y'all, it's been a kind of tough week for me, but today is a good day. So I woke up and treated myself to Dutch Brothers because I make iced coffee at home, but my iced coffee isn't done brewing. So I was like, well, I woke up early enough. I'm gonna go get coffee. And then if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen that. So my dog Emmett, if y'all are not new, welcome back. Thanks for being here. I'm so excited that you're still here with me and following and helping me and supporting me. And I love you and I appreciate you. But you know, my dog Emmett has bone cancer, and so he has been deteriorating very slowly but steadily. And he can no longer walk on his left leg. He can't put any weight on it. So it's been probably about a month since he's been able to take a walk with Nathan and with Chad, our other dog. And we were walking him just as far as the mailbox and back because that's all he could handle, but he can't do that anymore. He can barely, like, he goes to the back door and hops around the backyard a little bit, but that's all he can do. Well, Dutch Brothers is super useful because after the gym, like a week ago, we were waiting for coffee. We were sitting outside waiting for coffee at Dutch Brothers, and there was a lady there with a little dog in a pouch, and it's her dog that she's had since she was 16, and she's 20 something now. So the dog was older and she had lost her eyes, but this lady is a vet tech who works at the vet's office that's like right there by the Dutch Brothers. And so we were talking about her dog, and then we mentioned Emmett, and she said, you should get a wagon, pull him around in a wagon. And that had never occurred to either of us. So yesterday, well, actually, it was Wednesday, Nathan went and bought a wagon, a big wagon that's got like even graded support on the bottom, so it's not like the bars. Because we were looking at those fabric wagons, but there's just like three bars, and we're like, that might be uncomfortable if he has to move around. So we got the one that's like got the grate all on the bottom. It's a heavy duty wagon, so there'll be other utility that we can use it for when it's no longer needed for this. But then we put like a yoga mat down and an old blanket, and Emmett was able to go on a walk with Nathan and Chad last night. And so Nathan had to pick him up and put him in the cart. And then he got a little bit into the walk, and Emmett wanted to get out, and he let him get out and like wander around for a little bit, and then he put him back in. But he was so excited to be able to go on that walk, and Nathan was so excited to be able to take him on that walk, and I was crying, and the dogs were so happy, and it was a good night. I really enjoyed that. That was in sharp contrast to Wednesday, which I know there are a lot of y'all out there who are feeling a lot of feelings for reasons that have nothing to do with why I was feeling feelings on Wednesday. And so I hope that all of you are okay. I hope that if you're candidate one, I hope that you please be kind to those who are feeling very justifiably upset about it. And if your candidate lost, please be kind to those who are celebrating their candidate's win. As much as you may not just agree with him, you would be celebrating if your candidate won. So I just want everybody to be kind to each other. I am not a political person at all. I am not a political channel, but I know that there's a lot of healing that needs to happen in this country, and I really hope that we can just be kind to each other. But that being said, Wednesday was the 8-year anniversary of my sister's passing, which is why I didn't put out a video. I really wasn't feeling up to filming anything. And I did overspend a little bit in my dining out because I decided to go and treat myself to a nice meal. After we picked up the wagon, I went and stopped and had some sushi. And that was a little bit more expensive, so it did go a little over on my dining out, but that's okay. I was still able to make extra payments to my American Express. I was still able to cover all of my bills. And then today my paycheck hit, and it is even a little bit higher than I was anticipating. So I am very happy with the way things are going. Wednesday was rough. Thursday was better. Friday is going to be a great day. I get to go see my bestie tonight, have dinner with her. Then tomorrow I am going with some girlfriends to watch the We Live in Time movie, which just looks so good. That looks so good. Also, today is my Jet's first birthday. My youngest great nephew turns 1 today. So, last Saturday we celebrated their birthdays. His older brother turned 2 on the 31st, and then Jet turns 1 today. So, it's going to be a good day, y'all. Okay. I don't think I have any other live updates for y'all. I think I'm just going to jump into budgeting. So let's just shrink myself up. The money that you see above my head is not my paycheck. I mean, it is my paycheck, but it's not only my paycheck. Seth did pay me for his part of the car insurance for November, which I had not included in my budget because I wasn't sure uh, if or when it would come in. So that was a nice, so he sent me $113 toward that. And then I have like just a couple of dollars of cash back on my PayPal card. So this is the money that we have to budget today. If you are new, welcome. So excited you're here. And the way I do my budgets is I plan them out, which I have a little note here. I plan them out a month ahead of time in the Budget by Paycheck book by the Budget Mom. This is my printed version that I have been making this year. I do have the small version of her new one for 2025 that I plan to use. But for right now, I'm using the printed version, and I plan it out. I filmed that for y'all. I did film that last weekend and put that video up. If you missed it, I'll link it below. And then as my paychecks hit, as we go from week to week, I actually assign my budget and track my budget in YNAB. YNAB is a digital cash stuffing software. If you're not familiar with it, it is a zero-based software, kind of Dave Ramsey-ish, but much more flexible. And this one will help you with your credit card. So if you have credit card problems, this is the app for you. It is a paid subscription, but they understand that there is a learning curve involved. So they give you 34 days for free to try it out. And there's a link in my description where you can try that out. If you do like it and you sign up for it at the end, if you've used my link, then you will get an additional 30 days for free. So you'll end up with 64 days for free before you have to start paying for it. And then they also send me 30 days for free. If you don't like it, they don't have your credit card information. There's no sneakeriness in there. So you just stop logging in and it goes away. There's my YNAB spiel. I got it out of the way early. So let's start budgeting. This money has to cover me. So I do my budgets from Fridays to Thursdays. So this will go from the 8th through I just realized my budget's on week 4 and I'm only in week 2. And I'm like, that says the 28th. And there's no way this budget's going through the 28th. The 8th through the 14th is what I have to cover today. So, like I said, I'm paid bi-weekly, but I budget weekly because I have these right here, my categories, my cash envelopes, if I was a cash budgeter, where I only give myself so much money every week to spend. If I were to put the full 2-week amount in here, and I know this because I used to do this, if I were to put the full 2-week amount in here, I would spend it all within the first couple of days, and then I would have like the whole rest of the paycheck cycle with no money to spend. So I stop myself from doing that by still budgeting every week. So I give myself $50 every week for dining out. As you can see, I did go over last week, but that's because I had an additional, sushi's not cheap, especially gluten-free sushi, because I can only order certain things off the menu. Anyway, and also I am gluten-free. For those of you who are new, I have celiac, so I do have to be very careful about where I eat and what I eat. So dining out, I give myself $50 every week. And groceries, I give myself $125 every week. I came close to that, but I did not go over this week, and I am very excited because I went to the HEB yesterday and I still managed to stay within it. Fun money, I give myself $15 every week. I did go over a little bit because Nathan and I went and watched a movie. We went and saw the new Transformers last week, and it wasn't showing at Cinemark, so I couldn't see it where I have my subscription. I had to go to the AMC theater, which is fine. I don't dislike the AMC theater, but I did have to pay for it, and I didn't get 20% off my concessions like I would have if I had gone to Cinemark. So I did have to add a little bit of extra money in there to cover that, but that's cool. Ecclesial expenses. This is my church donation. I budget $80 every single week, $60 for the donation, and $20 for a meal if we go out afterwards. That $20 is not additional dining out money. If we don't go out as like a group, as an ecclesia, for a meal, I just roll that $20 back into my budget. I don't use it for anything else. What I last week, you can see I only ended up spending $30 on the food that I bought. And then my mom actually, so I picked up some birthday presents for my two great nephews. As I mentioned, their party was last Saturday. I picked up their presents and my mom paid me back for her half because it was my mom and I were splitting the cost of it. And then she just paid me in cash. So I used her cash that she gave me for the donation part. I spent about $30 on the food that I brought. Because there's a lot of people that go to that, so you have to bring a lot of food. And then I rolled the other, $50 back into my budget. So I was able to put that toward the dining out that I did. Even though I say it's not for dining out, that really wasn't for dining out. I moved it to something else, and then I ended up using it to cover my dining out. So normally it's not for dining out, but that is what I used it for this week. Okay, coffee. I give myself $25 every week for my Dutch Brothers app, which I do normally end up using, though I have a free drink right now, so that'll be nice. Because I use the app and you get rewards for however many drinks you buy. Gas, I give myself $25 every paycheck. This is not a weekly budget. This is a weekly item. This is a paycheckly item. So every time I get paid, I give myself $25 for gas. I drive a Kia Soul. I work from home. I don't drive very much. I did drive a bunch last weekend because I ended up going up to my nephew's birthday party and then out to High. So that was a lot of driving on Saturday and Sunday. But I still only ended up spending $13 on gas to fill it up. So we'll see. I'm just going to put the $25 in here. I don't know if I'll need it. I also give myself $25 every paycheck for self-care. This is for things like getting my nails done if I want to, getting my hair cut, which I did a couple of weeks ago. Self-care items, buying myself flowers if I want to. Pet expenses and household expenses, YouTube expenses, and stuff I forgot to budget for. These are things I only fill once a month at the beginning of the month. So these got filled last week. If you are interested in checking that video out, it's in my YNAB Budget With Me playlist, and I'll also link it below. So those are my weekly expenses. Then I have one bill that I need to cover this week, and it is my Progressive. So my car insurance, it is $256.66, and that is because Seth's car is still on it. But y'all, I got the title in the mail yesterday. Got the title in the mail. So I am going to take that to him on Sunday. Seth is a church member who took over car payments on a car that I had financed for my niece back before I started getting my poop in a group when I was making horrible financial decisions. And he took over those payments and it just finally got paid off a couple of weeks ago. I got the title in the mail. I'm going to take this to him so he can go get it registered and insured in his own name instead of my name. And then I can take him and the car off of my insurance. And my insurance should go down. But for right now, $256.66 is what I have to pay. Okay, that's it. That's the only bill that's due again before the 14th. The next bill isn't due until the 15th, so I don't have to fill it. I'll fill it next week when you come back next week. I have the rest of my sinking funds. That's what I have. And we're going to add a sinking fund. I'm going to show y'all, for those of you who are interested in YNAB and not sure how it all works. Every single thing in here is completely customizable. You can move it around, you can rename it, you can delete categories, you can hide categories, you can put emojis, you can leave emojis out. You can do whatever you want. It's so customizable. I have decided, thanks to a suggestion by Libby, who is a viewer, to add a sinking fund for my mom's birthday dinner because I enjoy buying things for people that I care about. And so last year I was able to take my whole family, my mom, my nephews, my niece, the babies, one of their significant others, and Nathan came with us too. And I paid for everybody's dinner for my mom's birthday. And that was an amazing feeling. And I loved it so much. And Libby reached out to me and was like, why don't you make a sinking fund for that? And I was like, why didn't I think of that? So now I'm making a sinking fund for that, but I haven't added it. And I didn't add it on purpose because I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait and do it on camera so people can see how you add a sinking fund. So I'm going to put it in my once a year section, which is a section I named because these are expenses that will come up every single year. So I save just a little bit of them, a twelfth of them, if you will, every month. And then when they are due, I have the money. And y'all, I know we talked about the targets not being messed up anymore, but my mission lane is still messed up because I have this set. It's saying I only have $9.72 assigned when very clearly I have $52.06 assigned, but there's no gray bar around this. It's not due until January of 2025, so it's not that I asked it for it by the first of this month and it's that threw it off like the last time. So I don't know why this one's messed up. It is the only one I have noticed that on, but maybe not. Maybe Wine Ladies too. Did I not do Wine Lady? Oh, I didn't do Wine Ladies yet. Never mind. We're not there yet. I'm going to stop talking about that. So once a month, I mean, sorry, once a year, these are fees. These are annual things. So my mom's birthday occurs once a year in February on the 23rd. February 23rd is my mommy's birthday. So what I am going to do is I like to have emojis in mine, and I went and picked out some emojis beforehand just so I didn't have to search for emojis. So this is my mom. My mom actually always wears her hair in a bun anyway. She doesn't have gray hair. My mom is 70. Oh my goodness, my mom's gonna be. She was born in 48. What is that? Hang on, 2024. Come on, take your time. Nobody's watching. Oh, that just froze everything. 2024 minus 1948. She's gonna be 77 in February. But she doesn't have gray hair. So maybe I won't go gray either. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna say mom's birthday dinner. And there we go. Now I have a new category. I'm going to drag it to here because that's where I want it. So Mission Lane is due in January and Amazon Prime is due in, I think, May, March. March is when Amazon Prime is due. So mom's birthday is in between those two things. So I'm going to put it in the middle. And I am going to set a target for mom's birthday dinner, which is right here. And this will let, in theory, for most of the time, other than the one of mine that's broken, this will tell you how much money you have to set aside every month to reach your goal. Or you can ask it to just say, put another $50, put another $20, whatever you want every single month. Um, if you don't have an exact number in mind. I know how much I would like to have, but I know also that I don't have time to save that money between now and February because I'm focusing on paying off my American Express card. So I'm just going to put $25 every month in here until my mom's birthday, and that'll give me a nice little base of some money to spend for mom's birthday. And then I will wham it. Wham is whack-a-mole. It's where you move money from category to category. When it's February so that I have money to actually cover it. But at least this will give me a starting place. I should have a little over $100 by my mom's birthday. So I'm going to say I'm going to ask it to ask for $25 every month. And next month, I want to set aside another $25. And I'm going to save that target. And so now it's going to turn that from blue to yellow in theory. And it's going to ask me to fill it. Hang on, where is it? So I can hit this underfunded button and that will just fill my target, put as much money as my target says I need in there from my available balance. Or I could just manually type it in like I've been doing. Okay, that's all I need to fill for this section. And then we're going to go back down to Wine Ladies. This is as far as I got because on the Budget by Paycheck book by the Budget Mom, she only has so many lines for sinking funds. So I ran out of lines. So I saved them for this week. Next year, she has like 20 lines, so I should be good to do my sinking funds all at once. Wine Ladies' birthdays. This is for my group of friends that live in my neighborhood. We get together once a week. I did not go last night because I was very tired from not sleeping well on Wednesday. But anyway, this is my group of friends that we celebrate. We get together on Thursdays. We just hang out, visit, have a good time. And then we celebrate birthdays as they come up. Like all of the birthdays for the month get one cake. And so we decided just in September to start contributing $20 a person a year to cover the cost of those cakes. So this is me saving up so I can do it again next year. I already covered this year's contribution. And so when it comes back up in 2025, I'll have the $20 ready. $20 isn't very much money, but if I don't have to try to pull it out of thin air, it's nice to not. Editing software is the software that I am using for editing, and I set aside $6.36 a month so that I am prepared for it when it comes up in September. YNAB is this app. As I mentioned, it is a paid subscription, and I had it all saved. And then I had to move that money out to cover other things because the summer was very expensive with medical bills and with my dogs, my pet expenses. And then I took a trip before all of that came up. And so I had already spent a lot of money and I just pulled this to cover it. And then I ended up needing to buy a car, which I wasn't planning to do. It was a whole thing. So anyway, YNAB, I'm just going to fill this up. Normally, I would put a little bit aside every month so that it is prepared for when it is due. But since I had already had it funded, I'm just going to refund it. And I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but this is my guesstimate is about $118 for the year. Because I forgot what it's like this should cover all the taxes and maybe I'll have a couple of cents left. But $118 is what I am setting aside for that. Costco is my Costco membership. I set aside, where am I? $3.05 for that every month. Registration and inspection, as I just mentioned, I have a brand new car. So it came with a 2-year registration. I don't have to get it inspected and registered until 2026. So I save about $100. Did I up this? I did. I upped it to $125 because inflation, y'all. This should cover my inspection and then also my car registration when it's due in 2026. Find me gluten-free. As I mentioned, I have celiac. So I use this app. I actually use this app to find the sushi place where I had dinner on Wednesday. This app gives me reviews that other people have submitted, tells me if it's celiac friendly, if they have like a dedicated gluten-free menu, dedicated gluten-free kitchen. Some of them have a dedicated like entire kitchen for gluten-free, or the whole restaurant is gluten-free. This app is awesome, and it's only $22 for the year. It's 21 something for the year. So it is well worth it for me as somebody with celiac to have this app. So I do set aside just find me gluten free $2.75 a month so that when it is due, I have it. This is the first month I'm putting it in there because I just paid it last month. My emergency fund, we are putting $50 to my emergency fund. My goal is to hit $1,000 by the end of the month. So $50 end of the year, $50 in November, $50 in December, I'll have my $1,000. And the plan is obviously to not touch that. But as I mentioned, I had really expensive stuff this summer and I did pull some money from it. My great nephews, I save their ages. I give them each their age every week. And so, as I just mentioned, baby Joe turned 2 years old last week, or on the 31st. Yeah, that was last week. Wow. He turned 2. So I've been saving $2 every paycheck, which is $1 every week. But now he's 2. So I'm saving $2 every paycheck, which is $4. I'm sorry, $2 every week, which is $4 every paycheck. So he is getting $4. And then baby Jet just turned 1 today. He's been getting $1. He's going to continue to get $1 until this time next year when he turns 2, and then he'll get to $4 as well. That's everything I have left to budget today. I think, yep, I'm good. I am going to roll this $1,484.89 to my next week category. As I mentioned, this is a zero-based budget software. You shouldn't have anything left over. Every dollar should have a job. And so the job for this money is to go be next week's budget because I don't have another paycheck. I don't have any more income before next week. If I don't have this money, I won't have anything to budget with next week. And as I mentioned, I do budget weekly instead of bi-weekly. I don't budget per my paycheck. I budget per week because that works better for me and keeping my spending down most of the time. Sometimes I still go off the wall, but for the most part, this works for me. So I'm going to put 148489 into next week. And then when you come back next week, that's what we'll have to budget out. Okay, y'all. It's only 7:40. I'm going to go get some breakfast and start working. I hope y'all have a fantastic weekend planned. I hope everybody is doing okay mentally. I do think I am going to finally make a mental health video. I think it is definitely time for that. I haven't put one of those out in probably close to a year. But with everything going on, I think it is time for one of those. I love y'all. Be kind to each other and have a wonderful weekend. Bye.